Hello. I think only a singular minute. That's funny.
Good morning, Samoa, and welcome back to Doctor Who Season 1, Episode 8, Empire of Death, which rather disappointedly was not about the most feared baseball player in all history. Once again, I am joined by my brother Caden,
Hello.
who might still be trying to work out the baseball joke.
Do you mean like umpire?
Exactly, that was the joke.
Yeah,
I'm glad
that
you got it. That hurts. That hurts. Empire. Well, so this is it. This is the big one. Season finale. It's done now. No more Doctor Who. No, don't look at that. Don't look at the screen. No more Doctor Who ever. It's done. I forgot I had that up.
Are not streaming for me.
I
Get out there before.
am live.
For
Oh,
the screen
you
share.
can't see. Oh yeah, hang on.
Sometimes we make
give
it
me a
like 20
second.
minutes in.
Give me a second.
Before I say anything.
Look, this isn't the watch-alongs. You don't really have to look at the screen. Like, okay, there we go. There we go.
Oh, we're all set.
Oh, I'm not recording either. Oh well, we'll get there. All right, we're good. You can see now.
Yes.
So, I'll be honest. I browsed the Reddit waiting for you. I had like 15 minutes. I thought this was going to be a stream where everyone was going to be in total agreement, and based off the Reddit, I feel like I might be wrong.
Oh.
So I'm going to ask you, what did you think?
I think to sum it up,
Yes.
it evens out.
Okay.
You know, I'm
Now,
not
I
left feeling
assume you're
good or
referring
bad.
to the. You just mean the episode, yeah.
The episode, yeah.
This Russell T Davis has not improved at all as a show. No, this was a finale where the emotions were at 100, and the plot was at 0.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go out and say right at the start. I was looking. It's been a while since I've seen The Last of the Time Lords, but this might actually be his worst finale. This will probably be a stream where we go through and be like, so hang on. But it's a Russell T Davies finale. It's like the most Russell T Davies of Russell T Davies finales. I think every plot development, the way the universe works, was revealed the moment it became relevant and also the solution to something else.
Yeah.
It started off by killing Kate, which established immediately that nothing in this episode was going to matter and that it was all going to be undone. I always complain anytime they do that. You kill off a main character, like a named character, you know it's getting undone. And we knew Sutekh wasn't going to win, you know?
Yeah.
I part of it might have been early on, like just expectation. You know, this was a slower, just not the episode I was expecting. Definitely later on, though, that's not the criticism I have. So, Cherry, you're not going to tell anyone about that whole, like, invading heaven thing, right? We're going to be cool about that. I'll get you your tea, Cherry. We're going to be cool. This is interesting, though. As far as finales go, I think this is the first finale in the history of the show that actually takes away from several episodes that came prior to this one in the season. I don't know. I kind of like to start with the more positive things, but there's a lot that I was like, oh, shit, I forgot. How do I want to name my baby? Oh, I know. I've got an idea. My favorite part, right? Actually, do we want to talk about that one? Because that one's just so funny. My favorite part about that reveal is it's explicitly confirmed to have been the case, because Ruby's mother is like, oh yeah, I know your name is Ruby. So let's paint the picture here, right? You are a 15-year-old girl, right? Not even a woman. You're a 15-year-old girl from an abusive house. You've hid your pregnancy from your abusive father. We're going to brush over that. I'm sure it's possible, but, well, actually, that's just impressive, if anything. And you have to give up your baby for adoption, right? You're going to abandon them on a church. And so you want to name your baby. You know, it's your baby, right?
Of course.
So actually, you haven't thought about this life. You've left your baby at your church. You haven't written your name on a note or something, and you've left the church, right? But then,
naturally,
if I recall events correctly, as you're walking away, you go, oh, shit. How often do you get to name a baby, right? Like, dang, I got to go name the baby. So they come back, because I do believe the mom had left and then come back before they pointed. Maybe that was, I don't remember. But if it wasn't that order, then why not just write the name on a paper? Wait, so do you think she actually specifically found a church on Ruby Road? Like, did she name her baby on 2004 Google Maps looking for a street with a good name? All right, so you've left. You're now 73 yards away from the church, as we've established. Right. That's a decent distance. In a blizzard at night on Christmas. And so to name your baby, you point at the lamppost that has the name Ruby for several seconds, and then you leave.
And of course,
the people in the church,
they must have seen
it. Who did watch that, and were the same people who later put in ads about the mysterious woman trying to find the mother of this baby, who I don't know about the UK law. In American law, I'm pretty sure it's a crime to do this. Like, it's some sort of child endangerment to do what she did. So, you know, you do want to find out. The church looked out. They saw presumably the mother, the cloaked woman, point at a street sign for several seconds. And they went, you know what? They must want to name the baby Ruby. Let's also not tell anyone, I guess.
Let's let her keep walking.
Yeah. No, let's do that. Yeah. That's
it hurt.
I think there's something else too. Oh yeah, because then they left and they came back a third time when they go into the TARDIS at the start of this episode. I guess maybe to check the spelling, or it's like maybe she wrote on the lamppost like this baby name, and then they crossed out the word road. What was I don't think there was a point. I think we just wanted to acknowledge how ridiculous that was.
I think off the bat, the mom it needs to get out.
Oh no, I remembered, right? Except, okay, she didn't point originally. Remember? The timeline changed in the Devil's Cord to cause her to point. For reason. If that wasn't the original timeline, then I guess Ruby was named by sheer coincidence after the road she was found on, which time was changed so that was actually the mother's intention. Okay.
Maybe. It hurts.
There was a lot. I was actually I will admit, I was laughing at a lot. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Ruby. I know you're busy. I know I have a time machine. But I'm not going to just come back in like a year. I'm going to sit here and cry because we can never see each other again because you found out who your parents are and you happen to be busy at this moment. I know I've traveled with like school teachers who have to sit in a very strict schedule that is incredibly unflexible, but I can't. Ruby,
this is the last straw.
This is the last one. You know, I don't do this thing anymore, even though I just spent my last regeneration living in a suburban cottage with my former companions who I thought of as family. And in last episode, referred to myself as someone's uncle. You know, okay, well, we won't talk about season 2 until the end for spoiler things. Like, is Ruby in season 2 or not? I know. The fandom does know, but if you don't want those spoiler things. It was a weird plot. So the real question, right? The thing with Russell T Davies, all his plots have got all his finale plots, sorry, have got, shall we call them, interesting developments. So did the emotions do it? That's the thing, because we forgive him a lot of times, because it's just a little hiccup, but that the heart was really there, and he made us cry too.
It was fun,
I don't know if I'd call it fun, but
enjoyable.
I mean, the first half of the episode was no music, and the whole universe everywhere is dead. I don't think it's fun.
Well, fun not in the straightforward context.
Yeah. Okay. But so it was for you then. It sounds like you did.
I mean,
you were
I
here
really,
for the emotional journey.
I was, and I think I liked it. Like if it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
If they had started with the parts that made me go, ugh, and then they went to the fun parts, I think it would have sucked and hated it. But because I really enjoyed the first half of the episode, by the time it was like the most interesting person this whole season turns out to be an ordinary person, I was like, ugh. But it softened the blow a little bit, I'm mixed. I'm conflicted.
I see. I don't know which way around I'd want it. Because for me, it was a bit of I had to adjust my expectations. Okay, no, we're in a slow, very minimal cast episode. I kind of had to adjust my expectations because that's not bad. It's just it wasn't what I was expecting. And then around about here, especially kind of every development, I everything was kind of okay, we just put a leash on Sutekh, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean that's funny. But it's kind of though there was emotion there, but it wasn't the other it wasn't Rose leaving or bad. I mean, it's the season 1 finale is the best of his. I think it's just basically universally agreed, unless you're a massive Rose and 10 fan. So I don't know. I just felt I knew it was gonna get undone, so it's hard to feel for all these people dying, because you kill Cade at the start and then all of Ruby's family, not to mention then literally everyone in the universe everywhere across all in time and space at every instant ever.
For me it still had meaning in the sense that clearly the doctor was affected, so I was like, they're not going to kill everyone, they'll fix that, but this might make an impact on the doctor, which it seems like it didn't. But in the moment, I was like,
interesting thing.
He's upset,
So, the 60th, you weren't really there, but I mentioned in the end of the 13th Doctor's run, half the universe got destroyed. And as a reminder, that's half the remaining universe after a quarter of it got destroyed in the Tom Baker era. This was literally the season before this one. The entire, half the universe got destroyed. In fact, I think at one point the universe became just Earth and one other planet, and it was never explained how they brought the universe back. It was just the 60th that decided, you know what, we'll split the difference. Half. So then the doctor basically had a crisis, because it's I've literally, so much has happened to me that's super traumatic. The Time War, we basically had a reset. It was we've been in angsty Time War zone for 20 years. That's why 14 goes to therapy. There was the whole thing about the season arc. It's that shed all of that angst about everything that's happened and just have you sit down and breathe. And so we can start a new era of Doctor Who, a little more like the classics, where you're just kind of traveling and having fun. And we do these emotional episodes, but it's not 9, 10, 11, and 12 had the Time War hanging over them pretty heavily. And then 13 went ahead and destroyed the universe. So we just got a new trauma, we've done that. And so then they decide to destroy the universe again and get the Doctor back into that traumas happen, time to move on. We had with Rogue, a bit at Boom, where it's let's look at the sunset for 2 seconds and then leave. So individually, none of what they're doing is bad. But together, I kind of feel 15 is undermining the 14th Doctor. And the 14th Doctor his big, like, triumphant victory of, like, I'm happy now, I'm with my family,
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything, because apparently it, like, the therapy did something. Like, he's cheerier. He's kind of come to terms with the recent ends of the universe that he blamed himself for. But we're kind of putting him on again, so, like, what was the point of writing it this way? You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you haven't seen the 60th. Well, thank you, Alex. My wife is here with nothing in particular at all.
It's...
Thank you.
I'd have a...
I guess we'll just take it back.
No, I'm good. I'd
have a more fleshed out opinion, or I will have one by the time I see those other seasons.
In 3 years, come back. I actually kind of wanna. This makes me want to rewatch the first season, because I feel like this is one. If you were to rewatch it now, you'd find a lot of points where you're like, that didn't really work anymore. Like, time changed around the Ruby pointing at the lamppost, but that always had to happen because Ruby was named Ruby. You can have a paradox in Doctor Who, right? I mean, the whole reason that Ruby's mom, what was her name, like Linda or something?
I think you're cutting out for me a fair bit.
Oh, hang on. Am I still here? Am I good?
You're here right now. Yep.
Okay. The whole reason Ruby's mom, like, was kind of literally Sutekh could see all of time and space, but not Ruby's mom. Mm-hmm. And the reason Ruby's mom was important is because Sutekh, and I guess collectively the other characters, and in a meta sense the fans, put importance on the mother. So it's circular, right? That's all right. In a plot as messy as this, I feel you could maybe explain that a little, like, just say the word paradox.
I disagree.
But, like, well, we've had this before. At the very least, there's precedent. Even if you hate it, like, we've had, predestination paradoxes before.
Yeah.
Where was this going? There was a point, and I've totally lost it since I got Panda. I got, like, the only.
Well, we were talking about the angst.
No, it was something after that. Oh yeah, I think it's just going out. I don't remember. It's just like there's that. I don't remember. It's just I think a lot of things aren't gonna work. So, like, 73 yards is important. So, like, are we saying that the lady from 73 yards was some sort of perception filter? That was a theory, but if we're saying that you can see her from more than 73 yards away, well, that's a big stadium they're in with Roger, like, Prime Minister guy.
Yeah.
So surely there's people farther away than Ruby who could see the woman. And, like, I'm sure this definitely doesn't have complications from people viewing the TARDIS from more than 73 yards away. Or held the monument at the center of Cardiff Station. Like, it was just... Well, that was the thing, is they kept coming back to these little details of, like, how the plot is actually working. Like, 2046 exists because I landed there once. So it's like, no, now you're getting me to try and think. You're like, how is this working? So it's like, it exists unaffected, but no, it just exists. And then there's the whole other issues of, like, we just watched everyone on Earth die. But, like, the 14th Doctor is in England right now. So the 14th Doctor, the predecessor to the 15th, just died. Along with all the other ones. So, like, time doesn't seem to really care about that one. You've done it, by the way, finally. Congratulations. I've complained a lot when people say the Reapers from Father's Day. You remember them. Why don't they come back when we have loads of paradoxes before? And I always maintain name one time. Like, they explain why they're not in the classics. So name one time in Modern Who you think they should appear. And I say there isn't one. Well, I get to eat my hat today because now there is a time. I'm like, you know what?
You can explain that away.
This is Father's... Oh, yeah, you know what? Actually, that's true. They are creatures of the void. They were killed. You know what? Fair. Well done. Thank you for giving me... Thank you for the ammunition. Yeah. I mean, mixed feelings. Well... Here's the thing, right? I tore apart Rogue for a nonsensical plot and emotions I didn't quite connect with. This was a nonsensical plot with emotions I connected with more, but were undermined by the fact I knew the stakes didn't matter. But like it wasn't nearly as bad as Rogue to me. So clear there was something, right? Like
I don't think
I don't know.
To me, do you think the plot was like poor quality or just
yes.
Like okay, because to me, I don't think it's I just think it's lazy.
When bad. It's lazy. It's bad because it's lazy, but when I say the plot was bad, I mean like if you were to take out all the like emotion or like if you were basically write down the plot, it's a bad plot and it doesn't really work. Even internally, a lot of things are just feel weird or absent or like the Doctor can control the TARDIS with a whistle. That
I was wondering if that was from the classic.
No.
Oh, that
but
hurts.
Like, so, I mean, he doesn't have this on him at all times for some reason. But like he didn't plan this because the TARDIS was taken away before Sutekh. He just was like, yeah, I bet I can tell the TARDIS what I want with a whistle. And you know, this is. You know, when I joke about the whole, I made a joke about exaggerating canon not mattering to the Doctor doing some ridiculous dance and then like a key pops out his belly button. That's basically this, but like less ridiculous. It's like, and then the Doctor pulled out his whistle and summoned the TARDIS. And because Sutekh wasn't, because Sutekh wasn't touching the TARDIS, he was no longer literally interwoven with the fabric of the TARDIS. Is that what we're saying? I guess he pulled the levers, so you see what I mean? Like it's lacking. It's lacking.
He pulled himself out when he like materialized. That's why he needed the little person in there flipping the things.
Yeah, so he did flip levers. It wasn't just pulling the TARDIS away, but it was very Russell T. Davies. I'm gonna pull a solution out of my ass because I've written myself into a corner. If you make the plot so messy, you can't write yourself into a corner because you're just on a line of what you want to happen.
I feel like my take is all the Sutekh plot was kind of cheap but forgivable, but the Ruby plot was unforgivable and I hated it.
See,
which it feels like it feels like we're flip-flopped.
I think it's undeniable to say it's a little underwhelming. Actually, I think the best parts of this episode were after they met the mom. As much as we joked about the whole Ruby like lamppost thing. Oh, and I'll also joke about she knows all about you. It's undeniable to say it's underwhelming. And like you can't really look at someone who says I thought that was underwhelming and say no. But I do kind of gotta respect the like actually they were just no one, because you know we've been saying it's not going to be no one because that's not how you write. But every now and then if there is like it's no one, I mean at the same time I guess earlier episodes I was saying, or they do a Kylo Ren and be like your parents are junk traders, nobody's sold you for scrap money. You know, I like that the reason they kind of gave for giving Ruby up. I like the emotions of you know, the whole scene where they connected. Although, again, right, she's going to Spain in 3 weeks. Doctor, you got a time machine. Find her, like, 4 weeks from now, please. Like, you think you're gonna reunite with your long-lost daughter and then, like, go bye, Spain. Like, those things cost money.
I feel like it could have... I don't know. If there wasn't such an emphasis placed on she is something, rather than... Like, we as an audience can create the mystique, but we didn't. The show did, which is, I think, the difference. She wasn't just a character that, like, Mrs. Flood was a character that the show didn't create the mystique as much as I think we did.
Well, bear in mind that we did because there was an end credits to Ruby Road, where she broke the fourth wall.
For one episode, Ruby's mom is in most of the episodes and emphasized to be something that this god who's seen all of the universe can't fathom. Whereas the real interesting person, I think, is the one who got no screen time. ears. It mashes my potatoes.
I agree where the points where it actually doesn't make sense. Like I mentioned, time change so that Ruby's mom pointed. That doesn't really work. It's not technically a contradiction, because it's just a massive contrivance, I guess, that it is to throw you off. But I like the message of kind of the most extraordinary person was just the ordinary, and that like importance only exists because we decide it's important. I like the themes they were playing with here. As I said, I can't fault you if you're like, this was massively underwhelming. Yeah, I'm not gonna fault you. It was a little underwhelming. I think for me though, the bits at the end where they actually meet, I think this was really well done enough to counteract the underwhelming I felt.
A beautiful day has come. It might have taken us all season.
Disagree?
But I firmly, today's the day. I disagree.
Did you forget Rogue, where I like tore it to shreds, or did you just agree enough?
Well, like I could see where you were coming from on Rogue.
Okay, yeah. You're here. You're just like you see this face right here. That's you, right? You're like, what? So we have some comments come in. They built up Sutekh and the mother so much, just do what it did. Sutekh felt a little underwhelming, but I guess bringing someone back after 50, like, it's kind of always going to be underwhelming. Maybe. I like Josh Hood. Oh my god, an amazing finale. So there you go, opinion number 3. But bear in mind, I was on Reddit like 5 minutes after anyone could have watched the episode. So it's probably going to bias positive. But there was, like, one comment who's like, okay, that was a Russell T. Davies finale. It wasn't even saying it was bad. It was like, yeah, he hasn't improved at all as a writer. Like, it was bad in exactly the way you expected. Your only criticism was that it could have given it more space to breathe. Again, you had, like, 15 minutes where you got a spoon. I mean, it's hard to... The universe has ended, and there's, like, 15 minutes of this episode that's the doctor has to find a spoon, because I guess they weren't wearing anything metal, like those necklaces, or those rings, or, like, the belt, or the zipper. There is a line that they can't use, like, memory of metal from the memory TARDIS. Oh, yeah, history lesson, remind me that one. But, you know, is that why Ruby doesn't have her jacket on? You know,
I'll say there's been a little bit of right to the negative on this one. I think my favorite thing from this episode that I would have been fine if it like the memory TARDIS is my top 3 TARDISes.
Ooh, wow. So okay, well, what TARDISes are you remembering? That ironic question. Is it like 15, 9, also, and the memory?
I've seen pictures of all the TARDISes, and I look at them, and I go, yeah, that's cool. But this was, like, the first TARDIS that I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's fun. I like it. So the memory TARDIS... And it felt like it fit the Doctor that we have more than the one he's currently got does. Okay, so memory TARDIS is not new. In the UK, there's, like, a quote-unquote new series called Tales of the TARDIS, where they take classic episodes, edit them down a little bit, and then provide some, like, linking narration. So they get some of the original actors back. It's a lovely reunion time. They're fantastic. Like, those extra clips. If you're not in the UK and you can find them online, I wholeheartedly recommend them. They're just, if you've seen classics, they're just nostalgia, they're fun, good times. Great. And they meet in this memory TARDIS, which I guess we've just created. So I guess, yeah, we've just left this memory TARDIS somewhere, to go make Tales of the TARDIS. So I hope it's not, like, conscious. Although I think Tales of the TARDIS establishes it is, because it's the TARDIS remembering the people and bringing them in, whatever. But, so it's kind of like just bits and pieces of all the others. Mel kind of, like, snuggles a coat and stuff. Well, right here, she's got the 7th Doctor's little jumper.
right there. She sees the Six Doctors, fabulous coat. Sorry, I think some part of me, like the deep part I tried to bury, was actually allergic to that statement. But no, I have to clarify that I genuinely do believe it's a fantastic coat. I'm looking. Where's my fortune? That's right, the fortune I got. Your laugh and enthusiasm inspire those around you, so you can't deny that was about the coat specifically. And there's references all over. I don't know what this dinosaur is a reference to. It's probably a reference to something, but there's like sonic screwdrivers. There's all the other consoles.
The door, yeah.
There is actually a Tales of the TARDIS yesterday. I didn't send it to you because it's utterly pointless. 4 Pyramids of Mars that actually takes place here. When they're like in the TARDIS, I guess Mel was just napping, but they're wearing the same things. They're around 13's console like it was a fire for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's your favorite. What'd you say? There was top 3?
Yeah.
There we go. That's a good shot.
TARDISes.
I mean, I feel like you've only seen 3 though. Like it.
But every time I've looked at images of other TARDISes, I just go like, yeah, it's a TARDIS.
You need to see Capaldi's. Like, you need to walk around.
I remember
we
talked about this. I'll look it up again right now.
No. You need to see. You need to live in it. You know.
No, look at how much just personality oozes out of this memory TARDIS. Look, there's a tiny jukebox up there.
It's good for what it does. It's not a main TARDIS. I mean, I could kind of feel it was hard to film in, like it was too cramped, because it's supposed to be like 2 people sitting down on a cheap iPlayer thing. But yeah, I mean, fair. I guess fair. It's just, to me, it's not a TARDIS. It's a different TARDIS. Yeah. Few more comments. You would like to think. Okay, Javier, I believe I'm ignoring your comment because I have stuff to say about season 2. It's about Melly Gibson. She hasn't quit. I didn't think she had quit. Although I guess technically, if you leave, you're always quitting. Like, unless you're Colin Baker, then you're fired. Yeah, Miss Flood giving your Mary Poppins vibes. When I saw Miss Flood on the roof, I was like, oh my god, are you literally about to Mary Poppins, like, fly into the sunset? I also had a heart-wrenching moment where she was like, but whatever happened to that time traveler? I was like, don't say you're Susan. No, don't do it. She was like, the doctor. Phew. She's about to Mary Poppins her way over to the Christmas special. Like, come on. I actually now am kind of upset that she doesn't comically Mary Poppins her way into the sunset and then just give a big, like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, and then it ends.
Saving it, you know?
Could you imagine? Because, like, technically Disney's involved now. If they did a Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, reference, like, everyone would lose their minds. And by the way, this is our fourth wall break. It's the end of the episode. You're kind of like, this didn't actually happen. Fine. You're the end of the episode. You can do what you want. I really need to set you up with a comment before I take a massive bite of these little apple things.
Oh,
Please talk about something.
I thought you cut out. I was like, oh crap, no. I enjoyed thoroughly the outfit that they put her in for this. I thought it was very funny because I don't get it, but I think I will next season.
It's snowing. It
is snowing.
Even though, like, we're done with the weird timey thing. So, like, maybe Miss Flood was involved with that? I have a feeling, though, this is, like, what she's gonna wear for Christmas. Mm-hmm. It looks Christmas. In fact, it's like July, canonically, right now. Is it?
I don't know.
What's this building on the left? This sonic screwdriver just in the middle of London. Is the Shard that tall? Oh my god, look at that thing.
I want to be intrigued about this character, but if this season has taught me anything, just don't get my hopes up. They'll be the most ordinary person.
I have cinnamon. Don't cinnamon challenge me. No, you gotta warn me before you... I mean, Russell T Davies had some great reveals. The Master was phenomenal.
As
the Daleks, the Dalek. Remember Dalek? That was a good reveal. Like, I mean, the name is in the title.
I think all that cut out.
Oh, it's your internet. It's not my problem. OBS is picking it up. YouTube, am I fine?
I'll dig around.
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
comes
good.
in and out.
Yeah, whatever I was talking about. I agree. Now that you mention it, we still don't know who took the tooth from the toy maker. Oh, yeah. I'm not even sure Russell knows about the tooth thing. That's something from the 60th. But, yeah, I mean, she could. I mean, Ronnie is always... That's the meme answer. Like, I can't say the Ronnie. I'll get made fun of. They won't let me come back for Christmas, Caden, if I say it's the Ronnie. I could be Fenric. I was thinking it could maybe be the Valeyard. Like, there's no reason the Valeyard can't be a woman. That, like, evil incarnation of the Doctor. Mm-hmm. The only technicality is that the Valeyard didn't have any regenerations left, so you'd have to explain why they don't look like the Valeyard did in the classics. You could do surgery. You could hand surgery. You could hand wave it. Like, you could make him get one regeneration, in an episode. Like, suppose if they had to push a second criticism, man, you only had well done coming out of this with 2 criticisms. Mel should have gone to dust earlier, make it feel dark, and pushing the limit. I don't know. I kind of could see. Could you see the Doctor's like, yeah, I know Mel's dead right now. Did you predict that?
Yes, there was a moment where they held on the Doctor looking at Mel, and I went, oh, is he figuring it out? But then they kind of went away.
Maybe it's because I've seen, 400 Doctor Who stories. Actually, more.
Right there.
I
felt it.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a man who's like, really, Russell, they're not going to fall for this. It's like, but I guess when you've seen, heard 1,000 Doctor Who stories, you kind of, maybe you can predict.
I'm going to try and restart my Discord. Maybe plug in my Ethernet, because it is not having a good time.
My opinions aren't that bad. I've still got all this chow mein to eat, which is vegan. It's like one of the only vegan things in Panda.
Did any of that? Did anything I just said go through?
Yeah. No, I heard you. Okay, it's on you. It's not me.
Then I didn't hear you. I'm gonna try and fix this. I'll be back in a second.
Go on. I'm not dropping frames. I'm doing good. How you doing? Don't put noodles in your mouth, Nathan. You're the only one live. You can leave. I'm just gonna read chat. Yeah, love Mary Poppins. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Aiden. I'm only aware of this character due to YouTube videos, but this flood reminds me of Iris Wildtime. That's what I said. Someone on Reddit had an amazing Miss Flood is Iris Wildtime theory, if you can find it. Seems like something that'd be on r/Gallifrey. That is, genuinely super convincing. The only thing is it'd have to be Iris Wildtime, but with none of the context from the EU, just because of the BBC charter. It would literally be illegal for the BBC to bring something from the EU in anything other than a brand new take on them. But Iris Wildtime, for those who don't know, Big Finish, the company that does audio dramas, before they had the rights to Doctor Who, they had a story by Iris Wildtime, voiced by Katie Manning, Joe Grant of the Third Doctor era, who was a legally distinct time traveler of a non-specified species who traveled the universe in a double-decker bus of a nondescript camouflage technology. It wasn't actually a bus. I think it might have been bigger on the inside. I don't remember. And yeah, she was legally distinct Time Lord. And then when they got the license, they were like, yeah, screw it. She's just a Time Lord now. Let's have her meet the Sixth Doctor. But it's genuinely an incredibly, even if this isn't it, well done kind of theory. Caden, it looks like you're back.
I'm hoping so.
Cool.
We're steady right now.
Javier, well, if the Valeyard is the Doctor, then has no limit to their generations now. Well, no, because the whole thing, the Valeyard was some weird, unexplained split off to the Doctor. Somewhere between, and I quote, your 12th and final regeneration, which has a lot more leeway than it did back when they gave that line in the 80s. And like it's explicitly stated, I think he doesn't have any regenerations, and he's looking to steal the doctors. Like that is his goal. They show us the doctor's understanding without telling us. I love the show, not tell. I mean, yeah. I guess it was just it was predictable to me. I was like, yeah, you know. Do you think he knew like he would use the whistle for that? I don't know. And now we have 2 doctors, so one of them could become the Valeyard. Yeah, that's another popular theory, that 14 is going to become the Valeyard. I really get the sense, just what they're saying, and especially that therapy seemed to have done jack so far with 15, that 14 and 15 are like 2 totally distinct branching paths of their generation. But screw that, you know? That's my response. So until they like explicitly tell me, and honestly, even after, I'm gonna go with the other option, because it's like the episode with the bi-generation has like is self-contradictory and has certain lines and things that are spoken that suggest both. It doesn't. I think it intentionally is contradictory, which is annoying. Intentionally, okay, if you're not gonna explain something, intentionally vague is infinitely better than intentionally contradictory. Yeah. I do think out of finales it beats Jodie's 3. Jess, everything beats Jodie's 3 finales. Beats Smith 5 and 6. Oh god, what were those? Season 5 was good, wasn't it? Was that the Pandorica? It was that season 6. Beats Capaldi Series 9. Not if you count Heaven Sent is Capaldi Season 9. Hang on, I'm actually going to check. This is interesting. Caden, of the 2 finales you remember, how does it rank? As I shove as much noodles as possible as you rank. It shouldn't be hard.
Giving me a remembrance of 2 finales is very generous of you.
Well, this one...
I give myself 1 1/4.
This one,
if we're including
and the
this
one we watched 2 months ago.
Yeah. How does this rank?
Yeah.
Far below.
Obviously.
With glimmers of... No.
Even if this one was good, it would probably be far below.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Not classic. Okay. So yeah, Parting of Ways is up there. Might even be the best. I mean, Ghost Doomsday. Pretty good, but the whole bit, like... plot holes at the end. The whole, like, 2 levers scene. The ending. Bunch of plot holes. Yeah. I'm very vague because that's the one. If you're liking this, Caden and I, not next week, probably the 7th of July, are gonna continue. We did a watch-along of Season 1 with Christopher Eccleston, and so we're gonna do the 10th Doctor stuff. We're just going through while Doctor Who is off air. And we'll do Joy to the World as well, the Christmas special for this year once it comes out. Because you don't have anything going on around then, right? Man, did that one cut out? No.
Yeah.
There we go. Nothing.
I might go check the actual router.
Man, that was a killer joke. You don't have anything.
Everything for like.
You don't have anything coming out going on around like December 25th, right? You're free to do the Joy to the World Christmas special.
December 25th.
Yeah,
that is far into the future.
So nothing. You're clear, right? Absolutely nothing going on.
Oh, December 20. Well, honestly,
Yeah.
these days, probably nothing. Christmas is not.
Last of the Time Lords. That's the one where, you know, thoughts and prayers save the day. Again, the emotional beats are there. It's the extended, or like the UK broadcast of Last of the Time Lords is like kind of messed up. Is in like, it's really dark. It's like tonally, it's interesting, but it's definitely the worst. I'm noticing he's getting worse at writing finales as we go on. Journey's End, I will be honest, I have not seen since the Sarah Jane Adventures or Torchwood. Caden, if you're still here, great time to go check your router.
Yeah, I'm about to go check.
Because I got a lot of seasons to go through you haven't seen. I know people complain about this one, like, probably the most, because it's got, of, like, how they resolve it, so, like, super convenient keyboard. I actually feel I don't remember, like, any criticisms of Journey's End. But, hey, maybe now I have context, and I'll go through. Maybe it'll be lower, but actually, I think Journey's End is probably the second best after season 1. So 1, 4, 2, 3, and then this one that we just watched. The specials, I mean, the End of Time. I like the End of Time, and then I heard an alternate version of the End of Time where someone said after the Water of Mars, where David Tennant, you know, he goes all like, time, the laws of time obey me. What if instead he was the one who tried to bring Gallifrey back? And you had a story where the Master was basically the good guy trying to stop the Doctor bringing Gallifrey back. And I don't remember who made that pitch. I know the channel. I'll put it in like the comments in the community tab after the stream, if I remember. And if I don't, yell at me whenever you're watching this in the comments. But ever since I heard that, I went, damn, that is so much better and such a more satisfying end to his arc that it kind of does ruin the End of Time. Big Bang Pandorica opens. God, see, it's been so long now. We're getting to the point. Wedding of River Song, is that the weird one? Is that the one where the Doctor died? Yeah, that one's... I don't know. I really don't remember 11 that well. I'm sorry. It's been too long. It's been too long. Oh yeah, Death in Heaven and season 8. Look, I'll have to, one day I'm gonna stand in front of a tribunal and defend my middle-of-the-road 12th Doctor opinions that are going to make nobody happy. But today is not that day. Season 9, Heaven Sent, great. Hellbent, meh. I'll be honest, I like Twice Upon a Time. Oh, and Season 10. God, Season 10's finale's good. And I'm not even going to go through Jodie, because I heard Caden back. Hello, Caden.
Hopefully, I think my Ethernet cable might have only been plugged in halfway.
Ah, yeah. So I want to share this, because I think they'll like this. You're...
Yeah.
Well, no, where are you? You're not in my old bedroom, are you?
No, I am not.
Here, I'll use this frame for a while. There's an Ethernet cable running from my old bedroom at that house. It goes across the bedroom through like a little doorway to space underneath the house. It then goes literally under the entire house to the opposite end, and then up a wall and out a port in the living room where the router is. It's like 100-foot Ethernet cable that I got to fix my internet.
It's just as rough. I'm in the room just down the hallway.
Oh yeah, you are. I know that. I do think that finale... Oh yeah, that's the one we were reading. But my major issue with this season is it feels like Series 6. There's no reason to come back to it after maybe some scenes. I mean, again, individually, a lot of these episodes were good. Where's Who Dis, the document with all the ratings? Even me, the most critical, I've got an 8, a 10, a 7.9, an 8.3, and I'm not going to watch The Legend of Ruby Sunday on its own. But, like, I'll watch it again. Yeah. I'd enjoy it again, but I do think it's made worse by this finale a bit. Yeah, and every time the universe is ending for the second season in a row. Well, Ncuti is amazing as the Doctor. Ooh, that's true. Yeah, you feel sorry for Jodie. Yeah, big finish one day. We'll get Russell writing for... Do you like these comments where, now that we have an audience, because like the episode ended an hour ago, where it's like these people know Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The audience has been like 6 or 7 consistently this whole time. Yeah, so how do you feel about Ncuti Gatwa as 15? We'll give his... Oh, that's a better face. How do you feel about him?
I like him, but I still do think the least... Out of the ones I've seen, is still the least fleshed out Doctor. To me. Yes,
but to be fair... David Tennant has a bit of an advantage over him, because it's just one season.
Mm-hmm.
Please talk a bit more. I've got a lot of chow mein.
I mean, Christopher Eccleston as well, I think, in the same amount of time, had a lot more depth. I think Ncuti has more time, so it might be a larger arc. But it's like, I really like the character. I don't know, I don't fully understand.
Let's bear in mind, apparently for this season, hopefully not so much next season, even though they filmed at the same time, Ncuti Gatwa's availability was pretty tight. It's why we have 73 yards where he's like not in it. It's why like Dot and Bubble, he could have filmed that at any point in like his living room if he wanted to. He's been a little more absent than previous Doctors in his own stories. So I think I said with Church when he killed the Goblin King, you know, like his bare hands dragging that ship down. One day, right, I'm going to come back to this scene, and I can tell you exactly how it highlights every aspect of his Doctor, in the same way David Tennant's opening that we're about to watch in a few weeks is a perfect, here's what the next 3 years of Doctor Who is going to be. The only difference is I don't know what that is yet. I have to see more episodes.
I feel like with this season, Ruby was the main character and the Doctor was the companion.
Rose and 9, I think you'd have something similar. But to finish my thought, I don't think I'm there yet. I don't actually know if I will fully be at a point where I can be, this is everything. Like, that was his David Tennant opening. But I do have a sense. I feel he's a lot more figured out. I mean, unsurprisingly than, like, the start of the season. But I do, if you ask me, do you know who the 15th Doctor is? I feel like I would say yes. Weaker than probably every other Doctor. I mean, maybe 5. But the problem with the 5th Doctor, though, is that to me, the 5th Doctor is like the vanilla version. He's the default. And then everyone else, it's not in the sense that like he's the best one or anything, but Space like he's the 5th Doctor is the base Doctor without a sort of like quirk or twist or something kind of on top, which isn't bad to Peter Davison, don't get me wrong. It's just he's the base, so he's kind of, it's in a lot of ways people are struggle to define like the 4th Doctor other than just the Doctor. To me, that's Peter Davison. He's like, he's the Doctor, like that's just who, you know, the base. That's where you start. When you're building a Doctor, you need to start with the 5th Doctor, which a lot of people are gonna really balk at that. He's not hated or anything, he's just he's kind of the nobody's favorite Doctor guy. I'm sorry, Peter, but he does own it. He's great at conventions. I mean, I like him. Yeah.
I do as well. Yeah.
I'm not gonna claim him my favorite. I think he'd need more of an arc, but you know, he's not done yet. I'd be surprised if the current Doctor was ever my favorite Doctor. You know, I kind of need to, because just the ones before have so much, like, all that time, all the identification, and their arcs are done. You know, we're still working on him, but I'm still like, give me 4 or 5 seasons of this guy. Yeah, you know, I want more than 3 seasons of this guy. And I think we'll get it. I'm 4-season Gadwa, you know, let's go. And Ruby, yeah, I like her more than at the start. We've talked so much about how fumbled, like, the start. It's not good when your fan base thinks that your main character, your audience identification, is literally, like, canonically a character and an archetype of the companions. But she did great. I mean, we talked before, I think like 17 or 18 at the time she filmed 73 Yards. She played a woman like 40 to 60 years older than herself, and that was her first one. 73 Yards was the first, it might have even been before Church. I need a citation on that, but that was the first one she filmed. It's like, what? You don't do that to your companion, come on. And there is no sign of that at all. Like, she's as much Ruby. She's more Ruby in that story than maybe anything except the scene that is on screen right now. So I guess she got worse. Oh, well. No. So, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to watch the season again now that we know Ruby isn't, like, literally an archetype, and we've had these episodes. Like, my wife, you know, again, every week I hear about how Boom would be better if it'd become after every other episode. But I like her. I wouldn't call her a favorite companion. I think they succeeded with what they wanted to do for Ruby.
Yeah.
which I'm assuming is this story of the adopted foundling child, and then reconnecting. I think they failed to have a theme about found family, utterly.
Yeah.
It's kind of there. If the Ruby telling the doctor she loves him, and the doctor not replying is enough for a found family story, then Ryan telling Graham granddad is a companion arc, just fully fleshed out. It's like, eh. But again, I don't mind because they succeeded in other areas. I would not call this season a failure.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. I wouldn't call it perfection.
Number-wise, hypothetically, this episode was so bad that everyone stopped watching. But at this point, the BBC was in love with the numbers. Ratings are great. It's below what Russell wanted, but the BBC people are so happy. Hopefully Disney's happy. I'm on a way to watch Doctor Who. I can't exactly do reviews if I can't have illegal access to the story. Yeah. Trying to get the... oh my gosh, we're backed up. Okay, speed run the comments. You count the specials, 10 is a series. It's the best way to do it for this review, honestly. I don't know. You know what I do? Google list of Doctor Who Wikipedia. That's how I rank the seasons in my hard drive. I like this finale over the Thoughts and Prayers finale. Doesn't everyone? Well, okay. That's the thing is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be a hard one to rank. The defeat of Sutekh was a bit easy. Yeah. The 14th Doctor and Jack just not intervene. Well, they're dead. The reason they didn't intervene is they're dead. The problem is that causes a little other problems if all the incarnations before 15 are dead. That we're just not going to address. I think Caden's internet died. Caden?
Oh, no, I'm thinking... Oh. I kind of...
Yep.
I don't know the logistics of it, but imagining that every other Doctor that's, sort of out there is dying, I kind of liked.
You like it? Oh.
Yeah, I was like, cool. Every other Doctor's dead. This is the only one.
What happens in a paradox isn't exactly consistent. But I don't think we've ever had a time where you can kill a previous version of a character, and that's just okay. I think that's always been a big no-no. It's just weird to me, though. So everyone died everywhere the Doctor went. But that doesn't seem to actually affect history. Even to the point where they go to 2046. It's fine because the Doctor landed there, which for some reason is preserving it.
It made sense in my head.
Okay, everyone vaguely remembers... So I guess, okay, so if everyone died in, 1800s, why is, modern-day London exist? It's, it can kind of work for Doctor Who, but it's very weird to not address at all. Even the 11th Doctor, right? There's a very similar story where the whole universe is ending. And someone goes, well, if the universe is ended, how is Earth here? We need, Earth's molecules came from somewhere, and, that stuff exists. It's we're the eye of the storm. Doesn't affect us. Fine. At least they try. They acknowledge that it's a bit of a problem. It's kind of a death by a thousand cuts thing, I guess, because every aspect of the plot was like that to me. Oh my gosh, where are we? Love Shooty. Oh yeah, Shooty's going down amazing with people. I don't think I've seen someone who doesn't like Shooty Gadwa. The only complaints I've seen is that he cries too much, which I agree with. Not even that the areas in which he is crying are except for maybe one or two, I'm fully on board with. It's just the frequency. You don't have the best comparison people make, I think I've made this myself, is David Tennant probably cried as much as Ncuti Gatwa has. The difference is David Tennant could have like 3 or 4 episodes in between his very emotional moments. And so it feels like it's not constant all the time. But yeah, I don't know.
It feels, I don't know. Ncuti like cried in the audition and they really liked it.
I bet honestly that might be why it is. Some people are saying they're probably just impressed he can just cry on demand. I mean,
good,
that is impressive, but like, you know, could you imagine if like Melly Gibson here could just do like a sweet cartwheel or like a sick kickflip, and so every episode they make her. Actually, I kind of like that, but ironically, you know. If you have to constantly, kind of like how when you have someone like K9 or like the robot dog, you have to write around the fact he can't use stairs.
Yeah.
But like instead you're writing like that a companion has to do like a sick kickflip in every episode. I mean, there's a serious example though. The 12th, Peter Capaldi could play the guitar, and they utilize that. But like the 12th Doctor doesn't play the guitar in every episode. That it would like be unwelcome at that point, you know? It's like, yeah, we know you can play the guitar. Like, come on. Jodie is the nobody doctor. Yeah, no, I understand Jodie. The weird thing about when I insult them, I do like to go with the character because Jodie doesn't deserve this. 13's thing is that she would always do whatever would be the most out of character thing for the Doctor to do in a shockingly consistent way. You'll get there, but she is amazing. Like it's amazing. The only thing consistent about the 13th Doctor is that they are inconsistent, and they are inconsistent in an incredibly consistent way. It's actually impressive. I don't have a good... Oh my gosh, 13 views. Let's see how much that drops. We just insulted Chibnall. I don't have a good grasp on 15. Yeah, but Ncuti makes me love the character. Yeah, I could see 15 becoming another 5, in a sense, where it's like hard to kind of say because he sort of just is the Doctor. But we'll see. We got time with it. He could be the next Tom Baker. We could have him for like 8 years, you know? Yeah, you'd love to see a finale with like basically all the Doctors. I don't think there'll be a multi-Doctor story with Ncuti's Doctor. Man, a little bit early to speculate on that, I think. It'd be interesting to see how much he does with the character after he leaves, though. I mean, he's liking it, but Matt Smith liked it, and I don't think he's done literally anything since he left Doctor Who. But, you know, will he, like, go straight to Big Finish? Will he do some extra things? I don't know. He does seem to like to do a lot. Like, he's already in something else. I don't remember what in his little break period between Doctor Who seasons. He's like a lot of modern actors, he seems to like to do everything. Hello, Mark Copper. You probably jumped in here like 5 hours ago or something. There is a chance that at some point my wife's going to come down having have finished the episode to give all their opinions. Suck the season as a whole. Not hating it at all. The part 1 finale was fab. Yep. This was a letdown. Yep. Silky solutions, underwhelming reveals, too many unanswered and unexplained solutions and questions. One example is the scene where he uses the whistle, yep, to win the TARDIS back. No explanation as to how that works at all. I assume the blue beam thing is vortex energy, but no explained answers. Blue beam? Blue beam?
You don't remember the blue beam?
Remind me. I remember we saw the bottom of the TARDIS for the first time ever.
I don't know what it was. I thought it was the soul of time or whatever.
Well, forget about what you're saying for a second, because canonical bottom of the TARDIS, like it's weirdly corrugated. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's somewhere.
Metal plate.
I genuinely think that's the first time we've seen it. I'd have to look though. But sorry, where was this blue beam?
When they get the TARDIS from Sutekh.
Shoot, no, there is something.
And he blows the whistle and all the yeah, like right around there.
Yeah, there's the.
And then that's like when the blue beam kind of.
This makeup wasn't meant. This outfit was not meant for full light. Here. All right. When did Ruby lose her jacket, by the way? Great
Good
look,
question.
but at some point I just noticed she's not wearing a jacket. Like, yeah, there. She just loses it when they go to the future. It's like, yeah, all right.
Battle outfit. It's before this.
It's before this. Hang on. I'll find it. This is... Surely it's got to be, like, here.
No, it's before. It's before they get into the TARDIS.
What?
Around... There. That's it. That's the
when
blue
they get,
beam.
like, Iron Man's... Oh, you're right. It, like...
And then it shoots out.
I mean, the heart of the TARDIS does live in the console. We've established this.
That's what I thought it was.
But you know what it was, Caden? Convenient for the plot.
Yeah.
And so that Russell T. Davis wrote it, and it doesn't really matter what it is. I love all of her. Can I be Melly Gibson? Not even as like a famous actress, like, you know, can I just be... I want to say I want your body, but not in a way where it sounds like that, but in a way where it sounds like I literally just want to be you.
Yeah.
I think Shooty's cry... Oh, God. Sometimes when you're behind the comments, you catch up. It's like, dang. That was a while ago. I think Shooty's cry is because it's tailor-made for the Disney market. No. No. I am firm on, like, the... No. It's just too core to the narrative. Like, every time it happens. It's not like Disney watching a version where, like, he doesn't cry. It's like, hey, could he cry here? And Russell was like, oh, yeah.
Sure.
That also means that they're, like, refilming the scene specifically so he cries in, like, all these episodes.
It's fun to think of.
But, yeah, no. I think Disney's reach is grossly exaggerated in a lot of these stuff. And it's important to remember, even when Disney suggests something, I understand the pressure of, like, you know, if Disney's unhappy, they're not going to renew the deal. But Russell T. Davis can't just go, no. Like, it is feedback. He's like, does this actually make the episode better? You know, let's see. Yeah, I just Heart of the TARDIS. It was a weird laser beam thing. Like, I don't, just some tech that overcharged is probably what it was, in all honesty, you know. In sci-fi, that's what happens when you overcharge tech.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. Look, it's hardly the biggest contrivance in the episode, if that's really your complaint.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We skimmed through. We got through a lot of comments. Let's see, anything else we want to mention? Yeah, you know, we're cool, Cherry. You're not going to mention any of... Okay, people are saying it's established they only vaguely remember what happened, right? But it really doesn't look like that when we see Cherry and Miss Flood appear later, right? It really looks like there's a way... And Cherry's like, what just happened? And so are we establishing that literally everyone at every moment in all of history vaguely remembers that time they all died and it got real dusty? That doesn't... Just like how music didn't exist for 60 years, and that didn't matter.
Didn't change anything.
You know,
that makes something.
Meh, you know, it's like... I wonder if the implication was we're a unit, so we kind of remember, but... Well...
Yeah, they have training. I could get behind that.
Yeah, but they really kind of set it up like they didn't give any reason that unit specifically would remember. You know, it was just one of those many little things. Also, I've just realized the sonic screwdriver has a replaceable metal casing, doesn't it?
The sonic screwdriver is white and gold in this episode.
It's white?
Been holding on to that one.
Is it?
When he takes... So, okay, the scene that I have had a lot to say is when he takes Ruby's blood.
Oh, shoot. That is a great example. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, and I got really excited for this, what he uses to take Ruby's blood was the first ever finger poker exact model I had as a diabetic. That there in his hand, I have that.
I was like, is that just a diabetic? Like,
it is a diabetic finger poker. And that one sucks. It sucks.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
Now there it is, white and gold.
Maybe it's just without the casing, because if it had the blue casing, I was gonna say, couldn't you just use that instead of a spoon? You do have metal.
I'm pretty sure they're different ones. I think we've seen 3. It
yeah,
doesn't seem like
but I mean, maybe, but like it. I don't know, man. It's sell more toys. I don't know, man. The toys will probably have casings though. It's just whatever looks best for the lighting. Like this one matches the lighting they're going for. That's the real reason Ruby took off her jacket is like, just look at it. It's all the colors mixed nicely.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of the blue one. I'm not even sure I'm not even sure it's just a recolor. It might be designed differently. Go back a little bit.
Lot of noodles.
Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
Okay, thank you. Actually, no, talk a bit more.
I was just excited to see the diabetic finger poker made an appearance because for me it felt so out of place for that reason. Wait, whoa!
Unfortunately, diabetics don't get any better technology for the next 23 years. You're stuck with it.
Those are awful.
Well, you know, it was like Roger that instantiated this. Maybe he specifically wanted people to suffer a little bit, you know? Like, he was like, no, the bad one.
I wish because as I'm looking at this photo and the screwdriver in the doctor's hand now, like, I don't know, it gets no screen time to, like, it's hard to even picture it in my brain. Like, it's such a non-object in this season. It was probably used more times in this episode than the rest of the season alone.
I mean, well, I think that's good, because there were a lot of points where they specifically wrote it out, because it's a crutch in a lot of people.
100%.
Since season 1 was pretty good, but since then we've kind of gotten worse and worse at relying on the Sonic. The 12th Doctor has Sonic sunglasses. Don't even get into that. Like, God, it would go places. But I saw someone, while we're on the topic of the Sonic on Reddit, Russell T. Davies radically redesigns the Sonic so that kids won't play with guns. Also, Russell T. Davies gives a 13-year-old a machine gun Segway.
Yeah, I love that part.
He's a big fan so far of giving people with, I don't know what you'd call them, like disabled people with a mobility enhancer, just weaponizing that mobility enhancer. The other lady, scientific advisor, had a rocket launching wheelchair, and she was like, oh yeah, we all have those. It's left ambiguous whether all is all people at UNIT or all wheelchair users in general.
It's all of them.
All wheelchair users are just armed to the teeth. Yeah. Jack, here's an interesting point. Jack can't die from C Movie Studios. So where would he be? Is he like turning into dust, then reforming at every moment in history forever?
How powerful is that non-death?
I mean, there's an answer. Oh, Alex is finished. All right, I'll just go eat my noodles. Here, you can have the headphones for a bit. I'll finish these noodles.
I just finished.
Yeah. All right, go on.
I don't know if anybody could hear me yelling down the stairs.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Go on, you're live.
Take it away.
That was
closer.
Fuck you. That was such a. The fuck you was for Nathan.
This is you. Don't swear on my channel, and don't go into red. That's how loud you have to be. Don't. Okay, go on.
That was such a good episode. I wasn't sure how they were gonna pull off Ruby's mom, but I liked that the message of, like, even if the person is completely ordinary, in somebody's memories, they are so important. And I liked that she wasn't pointing at the TARDIS, and it was her naming Ruby.
We did it, everyone. all 3 opinions. We did it.
I was nearly crying a few times there. At first, like, towards the beginning, I thought they were setting it up to the woman who gave the doctor the spoon was going to be Ruby's mom, and...
I wondered that, yeah.
And the doctor was going to take the girl and be like, I'll make sure she's safe, and then your theory of Ruby putting herself on the steps...
That was Reddit's theory, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I thought that theory was going to be canon towards the beginning. But then when we saw the woman and her child, I was like, well... Nathan said that, like, she hasn't been confirmed for season 2. Hi, comment.
Well, we're talking about season 2 at the end, but I didn't say that. Or at least I would have been right at the time.
You said something about they weren't sure if she was going to be in another season.
And this was months ago. Season 2 at the end, but yeah, go on.
And this was months ago.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Comet, can you chill for 5 seconds? Sorry, Comet's climbing on me. Yeah, it was such a, like, it was a good episode. However, if they're not setting up in the next 1 or 2 seasons going back for Susan...
Oh, they are. 100%.
They fucking better be!
Stop swearing!
Sorry!
You. Interesting. We've hit all of the opinions.
What have you guys rated it?
We haven't yet. But
we haven't done the rating yet.
We'll get yours while you're here. So we need this episode.
Oh, I think this is like... It's not a 10 just because there were things I would change. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's a 9.5.
9.5. Best one of you.
Yeah.
Do you want to rank the finale, like, together?
Oh, together, that story is a 10. Because it did really well as a finale, bringing the entire season together in a neat little bow.
And then do you want to rank the whole season, kind of, just collectively, every episode?
Collectively? So, for the longest time, I was just rating the season as, like, even though, like, each episode, save for Boom, was, like, a like, 5 or 6 out of 10, like... With that finale, since they did bring it all together and showed that there was an overarching storyline, I would say it's a solid 8. 8.
Yeah. For the record, that's your average of all the episodes. And that's your average, if you count the last 2, is 1. Actually, I'll let the stream see this one.
Yeah. I will say I would rank Boom higher if it happened... right before the finale.
They know.
Like, it just would hold so much more weight if it was later in the season. But that's more of an issue overall with, like, seasons being shorter. And so, like, stuff not really having time to develop. And so I blame, like, Hollywood in general for that. So, like, I would retroactively go back and change my score to be higher.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give it, like, a 7.5 now.
Oh, finally. You want to actually do that?
You can actually change it, because I know it's bugging you.
No, you can leave it, but, you know, if Boom's gone up for you.
Yeah. That being said, if at the time... I still stand by when, if you hadn't seen the rest of the episodes, I still would have stood by the 6.9.
I'd like to point out, this is very important. You now agree that Space Babies is the worst episode of the season.
I still think it's a good episode.
Yes, but we now all agree. Okay, actually, I don't agree, but, you know, whatever.
I gave Rogue for some reason.
I gave Rogue. I didn't like Rogue. Remember?
That's homophobic.
No, I like Rogue. Didn't like Rogue for all the other reasons. I don't like the heterosexual one, Girl in the Fireplace, for the same reasons. All right, is that everything? Is that your fill?
Yeah, I really liked it. I did, and it just proves that they're gonna bring Susan back. The colored version of young Susan. I don't know if they happen to, like, colorize a video of her, or if they got a, like she has the actress has a granddaughter who looked a lot like her.
Probably from the colorization of the Dalek story they did a little while ago.
It was so pretty.
There is a colorized version of the Daleks, which I don't know.
I like that they called out the Daleks were dead.
Where is she?
I like to imagine that they
filled
died.
their contractual obligation.
Yeah, I like to think that they died because all of their hallways turned into stairs, and that's how death killed them.
Caden, don't say anything.
Because as
No
we all
words.
know, the Daleks weakness is stairs.
Caden, we're gonna. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. We got a shot of the 8th Doctor's movie.
I loved how this was shot. I would have loved if the
Oh, is this distracting? There we go. I'll mute
yes,
it for
it's
you.
very distracting. I would love it if they made the inside of the TARDIS that's kind of like a ramshackle of all the TARDISes. I think it's supposed to be.
The memory TARDIS, yeah.
Yeah, the memory TARDIS. I would love if that was the inside of the actual TARDIS.
Yes, thank
There we
you.
go. Oh, that's got to be the Dalek. She's a little dirty.
No, because her hair was all flowy. There was a scene of her.
I mean, they
where
might
she
have
had,
colorized. They might have
background.
colorized something else.
It looked more high quality than this. Yeah. It has to be
no.
the companion for this season or the season after this coming up season or the season. Wait, go back.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of Sarah Jane Smith. That wasn't Susan. That was Sarah Jane Smith, the companion for Pyramids of Mars. Keep talking. I'll find it.
Yeah. But if they aren't going to have Susan come back next season or the season after, I'm gonna be pissed. Because
It's Doctor Who. Stop it.
They've set it up so well for him to go back and save Susan from that pedophile.
Her?
No, she had
I
a pink
don't know.
background.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't recall this.
All right, you want to learn how sucky it is doing this? All right,
Oh
go
my-
on.
Somewhere in here, there's she has a
Susan
pink
with
background.
long hair?
No, she didn't have long hair. She had a pink background. It looked higher quality.
We'll find it later.
We'll find it later. You're amazing. Yeah, I will riot if Susan does not come back next season or season after that, because they've set it up so well for the Doctor to go back and tear her away from that. If you don't know, when I finished...
Alex doesn't like the ending of...
That's because they last state her as being 16, and that was 2 episodes before
yeah,
this.
2 years ago.
Shut up. And then they leave her with a guy who's at least 27. Nathan says he's supposed to be 23, but that dude is 27. They leave Susan with a pedophile. And then Nathan goes, they have a child named Alex, and I'm like, yay! And they're like, it's a boy. And I'm like, why must you ruin all my fun?
That's EU. Just so people know. Right. Is that everything?
My only complaint,
Uh-huh.
I mean, other than just general nothing's gonna be perfect, so that, and it's just small things this. I wish there would have been an extra episode for the story to breathe. My main complaint is with how the story is told. I don't like the use of referring to Ruby's birth mother as her real mom.
I didn't catch that, but yeah. No, that's a good...
It implies that even though that's the opposite of what kind of was supposed to be going all season of found family, it goes against that, and it kind of rubs me the wrong, because it implies that Ruby's mother, the one we see all season.
Carla?
Yeah, Carla, thank you. I don't know her name. I only know her grandma Cherry's.
Every time...
It implies that Carla and Cherry aren't her real family, even though they love her to death.
That absolutely should have been caught well before filming. Or, before editing. Because it's birth mother. It's just as quick. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
She's my birth mom.
Good, that's not a Manchester accent.
I will curse on your stream again. I will curse 5 times in a row and get this stream demonetized.
I'll have to go do a mid-roll for once. No. Just cut you off. Mid-roll.
Yeah, that is like cause like a lot of people, if they have a situation where they're not with their birth parent or they were adopted, referring to their genetic parent as their real parent degrades the value of the relationship they have with the parent who raised them.
Yep.
And
it wasn't like Sutekh or anything. It was like Ruby or the doctor who did it, right?
Yeah, Ruby's the one who says,
right at the end.
"She's my real mom."
Yeah. I mean, Sutekh can say it, but
yes,
you know.
he's
yeah.
He is a pardon my Irish, an arsehole.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
I think. Well, no, you can actually say that on Doctor Who now, so that one's fine.
Yeah.
Donna says it.
But yeah, the real mom sounds so wrong. Yeah. It's only one line, but it devalues the season so much.
Mm-hmm. It's out of character.
Yeah, because Trevor Turner and me are on the same page. If they don't bring Susan back, I swear to God.
Oh, yeah, no. The whole fan base is like, we're not going to have another Brigadier.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's just, like... I know just because, like, I've seen kids through my job and through, like, family stuff who have gone through, like, foster care and stuff. And I don't like the implication that blood family is the only family that matters. Because, like, Caden, if me and Nathan were to adopt a kid, you wouldn't refer to, like, a bio kid that we had as our real kid and our adopted kid as our non-kid. It's kind of like the dogs. I refer to them as my kids. It's not like I would have a child and be like, yes, my real child.
I'd call
say
our
my
child,
human child.
the real child, over the dogs. I will have to admit.
I'm going to make sure Henpen is so energetic tonight, and you won't get a wink.
I'll just take this off. Here's that was my wedding ring.
Put that back on. You're not getting rid of me. You already promised for life.
I technically promised till death do us part, so we part until one of us dies. That's how the words work.
And it's about to be you.
Good baby boy. Good baby. People will probably think I just gave you a kiss, but no, that was the dog that came up to me, and he was like, give me kisses.
I agree that it relates back to the fact that it was so important to Ruby and that she fixated. It doesn't feel crazy out of character. It just feels as like somebody who doesn't really see blood ties. I don't always think that they're real. They're like your real family. Do
you think the abusive stepdad is her real stepdad? Like, no, it's the same.
I was afraid that the story was gonna be that her birth mother's abusive stepdad was her father. I was terrified that was the story for a second.
A lot of people on Reddit pointed that out, that there's a bit too long of a pause after the stepfather was problematic. That they were like, hang on a minute, where's Doctor Who going?
I mean, it's... Unfortunately, stuff like that does happen. I'd be surprised that Doctor Who got that real and dark in that way. But, like,
TV's weird, isn't it? You can kill literally everyone in the universe, everywhere, all through time and space, and that's less dark than, like, that. TV's a funny place, isn't it?
Well, like,
I know.
In no way, shape, or form am I just gonna turn to dust in this very second.
You don't know.
But as
I bet that's what Ruby's mom said.
Shut up.
That's what
as
Ruby's
a
mom
female
said.
presenting person.
No, I know. I get it. It's just
that kind of stuff hits a bit harder. I'm just like, I was like surprised if they were going that route, but I would have been like, it happens. I also was like, I wasn't afraid, but I was like, oh, are they really gonna go the route of Ruby's birth mom not wanting to see her? Like, that part of me's in the past. I named you. Glad you're doing good, but get out of my life. House of Dragon?
The Game of Thrones.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I thought this was going, too.
Right, not everything?
Overall, I liked all the callbacks, even if I didn't understand all of them, to Classic Who. I really liked
They
that.
literally are just sitting there watching Pyramids of Mars.
I doubt who puts on Doctor Who in the UK?
BBC.
I doubt BBC is listening, but...
Wait, remember. Headphone users,
Headphone users beware. I'm about to make thinly veiled threats to the BBC. I cannot.
Don't break
That-
the law on
That
my
I
stream.
cannot.
Don't break the law on my stream.
I'm not actually gonna go through with them.
If you don't put Susan in
Right in my
after teasing us with her for a
Threaten
season.
an individual, threaten the corporation.
Yeah, duh. I don't know the It's not only the J.J. Abrams.
It's Russell T. Davies.
Russell T. Davies. It's not Harley Davidson's fault if like the actress doesn't want to do it or they
No,
can't
she
get
does.
her. I know she does, but like break the law. I don't think Blood and War or any other Ruby did hold high regard while loving her adoptive family. Yeah, it felt very weird to refer to her as her real mom because
it's not that real
To me-
mom says the adoptive family is illegitimate. It puts them in a lesser status than the birth mother. So it's more elevating the birth mother over the
is
adoptive
J.J.
family.
Abrams the person who
He's
Star Trek?
yes.
J.J. Abrams is that why I keep thinking of J.J. Abrams when I think of
I
director?
think it's because you go JNT, who was the 80s director. It's 3 letters. Russell T. Davies is 3 letters. J.J. Abrams is letters. I think that's what you do.
Probably. Who's the dude whose style I like?
JNT. I was about to say, people at
JNT.
home, if you want to know what my wife looks like, imagine John Nathan Turner
But
and
an
give him
anime
short
girl.
white hair. And then that's it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a little more. I don't have as many wrinkles.
Tell
My
him about your bus. Go take a picture of your bus, like, Hawaiian
I
shirt,
have a
and then
Hawaiian-
I'm gonna show it to them.
You'll
Go-
make a community post.
I'm gonna find. Go take a picture.
You go take a pic. You're the one who
It's
wants
my
the picture.
stream. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I have a Hawaiian shirt, and it's like a double XL because I got it from a coworker, and it just is like a bunch of palm trees and stuff, and it has buses on it.
You need to go take a picture of your bus shirt.
You need to take a picture of my bus
Nope.
shirt. You're the one who
It's
wants
my
the
stream.
picture of my bus shirt.
Go on. All right. There we go.
I paid for your dinner,
The-
sir.
Most-
Hello.
Episode
Wow.
ruining portion of this
Well,
episode
you
being one
are
line for Alex
not
is
happy.
Oh yeah.
a state I wish I was in.
Yeah. I mean, Alex and I, we agree on the whole like narrative of like the adoptive family. Other than that, Alex, I think we had opposite comments on everything. Yeah, no.
You had opposite comments.
Go on. Bus shirt. We'll talk later.
No.
10,
we
a
talked
10.
about
That's very
it.
high.
I will
So-
take a picture of bus shirt for you.
Well, no, because they've already heard all my thoughts. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I actually thought while we were at this scene, I thought they might actually reveal Mel is Ruby's mom, because they kind of have the thing where it looks like she's about to die, and like that feels very Russell T Davies, to where like Mel, who was here the whole time and he didn't think about, is revealed to be Ruby's mom just immediately after they sent her out to the other room where she died.
I think she was dead right
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely weird stuff
I don't
you
know where my
found.
phone
Where's
is.
my
then. Because
phone?
that's when he
Okay.
touched her and her hands were cold.
Yeah. Hang on.
I think the back
So,
shows.
yeah, show the back. What even? God, I've so rarely actually look at this shirt. Hang on. I'm gonna send that to my alternate Discord account.
Why don't you just send it to our Discord, so...
Because then they'll see who you are on Discord. I'll be real careful. I'm just gonna download the image. Open link. There we go. Full monitor. There we go. Look at this Hawaiian bus shirt that my wife has. It's like buses just over the waves and on deserts with a canoe. Tell me JNT wouldn't have worn this. Like,
It's a work of art.
there you go. There you go. That is.
I love Lava Fun shirts.
They wear that
That's so
all the time.
JRT, that would have been horrible.
It's
one of my favorite shirts to wear to work.
That
It's like 5 sizes. It's a double XL.
is big on you. Now go on. We gotta
I wear a
talk about
small
stuff.
unisex.
God, where were we?
Around.
Around.
You had the doctor was taking a blood sample.
That-
was the screenshot. You
Aiden
had.
C, that shirt is amazing. Last episode, you remember how it started kind of weird? It just started, it felt kind of in the middle of the action.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had a different cold open when it was originally written. You know how we see those bits of Susan? They're catching up now. School buses? It's like... So, when they show all the different forms of, like, Susan that have been around...
I don't even know why
that
Sutekh
was supposed to be
wanted
the cold open, is they'd actually go to, like, America, and they'd meet Susan, and they'd go to, like, all those planets and meet Susan, and then they'd go to Unit. And that does feel a little nicer.
Yeah.
I just, probably time. JNT would have worn it and then destroyed Doctor Who even. Look, we aren't,
You can suck my TARDIS.
we don't, I'm fine with JNT. I don't know where this is going.
JNT
I don't have a strong opinion.
JNT would have made the doctor wear this, but instead of school buses, it would have been TARDIS.
Could you imagine? All right, Colin, we got you back. It's number 6. You don't have to wear the coat. Instead, I've got you this.
But it's this, but with the TARDIS.
The school buses. I'm sorry. Okay, if you haven't seen the season 20 Blu-ray, the collection, with Colin Baker on Behind the Sofa, he is wearing the most gaudy rainbow Crocs I've ever seen, and he lost all right to ever complain about his doctor's outfit ever again. Go try and find Behind the Sofa season 20, Colin Baker.
Somebody had, and you don't want to know why Sutekh wanted Ruby's mom's
Look,
name so bad.
Sutekh's about to have a long time being really bored. Let him have his mystery. He's just curious. He's not going to have a lot to do. He needs a hobby. And I was fine with that. He's just like, I don't know, he's curious, I guess. He's like, why can I see literally all the time in space except this one person? You know? I mean, Caden wants to know too. Like,
Yeah.
We all wanted to know, why wouldn't Sutekh?
You thought it was tour buses, but that's way... yeah, I know, that shirt. I haven't seen I honestly just watched the Behind the Sofas. It's like the only... Crocs are an abomination. I don't have the Crocs. I couldn't get it easily, but no, try and find it, because he's wearing, like, no.
I should wear Crocs. You're right, Nathan.
Oh,
I should add that to my
I'm not
body
going to
wardrobe.
make a claim about his choice of outfit. I'm saying you're not allowed to wear those Crocs and complain about the Sixth
I love it
Doctor's
because
coat.
I wear horrible things like this, and then I wear cute things like my mushroom dress.
Oh, yeah. But, Alex, you love a Hawaiian shirt. Not even necessarily weird ones like that,
Oh,
but you do love those.
I like
It is,
normal Hawaiian
it's
shirts,
American school buses. Just
but the worse and gaudier it is, the more I love it. That's why I like I like all the doctor's outfits. I'm just like, yes.
So why did he burn up now? Can you kill a dog? Well, he burned up because he was in the time vortex, and I guess not connected to the TARDIS, whatever. And, like, it has been established that's deadly. God, wow, this episode ends, like, 15 minutes before
I
it
can't
ends.
believe the doctor took the dog out for a
Well,
walk.
like, Jack did this, and it killed him. You know.
Daniels?
And originally, apparently, I'm just taking their word for it, the way they defeated Sutekh in the 70s was they, like, sent him through the time vortex, and that's how he clapped onto the Doctor's TARDIS. So, like, it would kill him, However, you are bringing death to death, which I am told is how you make life. So, I guess that does mean he is alive.
Is that what we're calling it now?
What?
Is that what the kids call it? Death to death? Bringing death, is that how you make? Okay, I'm making.
That's what the episode said. That's how they brought everyone back to life. Is what happens when you kill death.
I was making a joke.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
I'm unappreciated in my time, chat.
I did appreciate how Susan was more than just a thread to tease. Susan, right? Other than when she was actually the companion, has probably had more screen time in like this season than the intervening 50 years.
I think she's had more screen time in this season than she had in some like season spanning story.
What, that she's actually in? You mean?
Yeah, like I think like there was like in like not the Egyptian, the Quetzalcoatl story where Barbara was. They thought
the Aztecs?
The Aztecs, thank you. I think we see more of Susan in this season than in those 8 episodes.
We probably talk about her more. No, Jack Harkness did this in season 3, yes, in Utopia. The one that they didn't do a custom title sequence for.
Wait a second.
Have you not seen Pyramids of Mars? I have seen Pyramids of Mars like 7 years ago, and I don't own Pyramids of Mars because they haven't released the Blu-ray yet.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Why can't the Doctor just bring death to death and bring Gallifrey back?
I thought they were. When he was going through all the planets.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to bring the...
Well, Caden just died. Hang on, Discord just cracked. I brought death to death, and it didn't bring back Gallifrey. It murdered Caden. He's dead now. Hang on, we'll
We'll sing him the song of our people.
Hang on. Oh. Reconnect. There we go.
Oh, hello?
Discord just crashed. Okay. Don't worry about Alex. She's just being...
We're back.
Alex?
Yeah, she's just, you saw what she wears.
It looks like the Doctor's about to do an epic hip thrust on the death.
I could see 15 just doing a weird sexy dance to death.
I must become a monster, and then goes and...
And then he just twerks. He's like, I must become a monster. You could see that on, like, the headline of, like, far-right media, like, Russell T. Davies ruined Doctor Who. It's just... And you'd also see it in GIFs all over Tumblr. Those are the 2 places, This is where Tumblr and alt-right media can combine.
This is how the Doctor becomes a Tumblr sexy man.
No, that was Rogue. You remember when he did the... What was it he was doing?
And they said Daniels in the background. Here's the thing is, I know that these names have actual meanings. It's just my name. I do word association when Nathan records.
I do that as well, but I didn't
funnier.
even catch that you
said
said Jack Daniels.
I said Daniels? Like the it's a rum or something?
I didn't even hear that one, yeah.
It's just me in the background.
I just assumed Jack Daniels was a Doctor Who character I'm not remembering. It's like...
Why would you not remember and I do? You know who they should have made the companion before he died? Billy Mays here.
Oh god, get out of here. Alex has rediscovered old
and
commercials.
Not enough stuff. Wait, too much stuff and not enough space.
Right, there were things we were talking about Doctor Who here before.
Sorry. Too many doctors, not enough actors.
God, I'm gonna think about all the stuff I
David
forgot to
Tennant
mention.
Is 20%. We did the math. He's roughly 20-25% of the all doctors.
All regenerations, I think. Caden, I realized the reason they take all their clothes off when they go to the future is this scene, everyone just takes off their jacket, is because it's 20 years in the future, so there's like climate change and stuff, so it's just hot.
Warming.
Yeah, global warming. I mean, if global warming means we get cool outfits, that's not like the worst thing,
Nathan,
one thing that
pass a high school dress code comfortably.
Yeah, but the dress codes will get more relaxed in 20 years, so it balances out.
I do remember something so funny.
Wait, Caden's remembered something hilarious.
I forgot. I wanted to remember this, but it's so small. I forgot. In the end, when they're in the house.
Yeah, go on, Caden.
This works. Oh, never mind. Something to your ear.
Sorry.
I
You can right here. You can see where they patched the.
Oh, you can. I think. Well, the funny thing is though,
those are the cracks in the
I
ceiling.
don't think that's from when the TARDIS landed. I think that's from when the goblins came.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah.
from the
I think it
goblins.
is
So-
because the TARDIS was in a different
I
room.
like that.
No,
I
it
do
was the
like-
kitchen.
It went all the way
was
to
it
the
the
kitchen,
kitchen?
Caden. I love that they tied the very first episode, the
Goes all the way
Church
down
on
the
Ruby
hallway.
Road to this one.
Yeah.
Like it was a good bookend to where like they're probably gonna bring Ruby Sunday
I-
back, but if they don't, they've bookended her story really nicely.
I wonder if that's always been there, because I feel like I didn't notice before. But it would be funny if that is also where the TARDIS landed, and so they've ignored that crack, but they've patched over the one from before. Whoa! Cherry is standing.
You didn't notice that?
Yeah.
I hope she
Yeah.
finally
Dang!
got her tea.
Miss Flood must have bribed her with a lot of tea. That's a Caden. It was right there.
Okay, is Miss Flood
Wait, no,
supposed
no,
to be
no, no,
Mary
no.
Poppins?
It's right there. Miss Flood. It's a flood of
Of
tea.
Yeah. Is Miss
Yeah.
Flood supposed to be Mary Poppins?
We've been over this.
Because I was very
Yes.
Mary Poppins towards the end.
I mean, Mary Poppins is British, isn't she?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's
I
the
think it
most
was really- I thought
unhinged
Mary
Mary
Poppins was really
Poppins I've
American.
ever seen.
To be fair, Mrs. Flood was unhinged
Isn't
in
she?
these two episodes.
No, Mary Poppins.
She has a Mary Poppins bag.
Mary
Bye.
Poppins is British.
Yes,
just thought-
she's
I don't
Julie Andrews.
Proposed with New Nanny, Mary Poppins. Was it originally a film or was it a book?
It was a book.
Yeah, I thought so.
But, like, Julie Andrews, the actress that you know.
No,
Mary
no.
Poppins
I mean,
for,
like
is
the
British.
actual story is a British story.
It's a
isn't it?
British story, yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Because I watched who made Mr. Who saved Mr. Banks, and it made me cry like a goddamn baby.
Aiden, thank you for joining me. We will see you Christmas for the Christmas special, or just like in 2 weeks. We'll just keep doing 10th Doctor watch throughs. Those are always fun.
Just a spoonful.
There is another. I suppose the last irritating background detail I get out of this whole season.
Go on, go on. You had your time.
It's Mary Poppins.
When they first go to the memory TARDIS.
Yeah. Memory.
Uh,
TARDIS.
Yeah, when they first go there and it's falling apart, and the doctor's like,
Uh-huh.
and this is my final opportunity to nitpick something that doesn't need
Yeah.
to be nitpicked. So I'm gonna take it. He's like, tie this down, and you tie this down, and use this
Yeah.
scarf and do that. And you can. There's clearly zero tension on any
On
of
any
those
rope?
strings holding down any lever.
They were like hanging though.
Hey,
As it. Well, okay. I don't
you
know.
gotta watch
no.
it. That one is the strongest out
Look
of
at that.
all of them. But the one that Ruby puts up is bull slack. Not
This
to
is
mention,
important.
Mel puts on a scarf that doesn't do anything. Look it, you can see it behind her. Go back
No,
10
no, no.
seconds.
That's Tom's scarf. That's Tom
no,
Baker's
it's-
magic scarf.
You see that on the right above her shoulder?
Okay, it
That's
was more
not
tight in the
holding
previous shot.
Anything down.
You're right, but in the previous shot, it was more. It's just so.
Another thing.
I also had a list that I still haven't gone through.
Maybe you had an hour to go through your list.
We were. You're here.
Oh, I just wanted to interrupt you one more time. You did have an hour to go through this because I had to watch the episode.
We just started the scene
And
by
you did-
scene. We just start. Get out of here.
You didn't answer my Mary Poppins question.
Yes,
She is
I
Mary
did.
Poppins.
Yes, I did answer. She did the whole "I'm Mary Poppins," y'all. We talked about. We did the Guardians of the Galaxy joke. You weren't this. You missed out. We went over
I
this
will
already.
Fight you. I will
Go on.
unplug the internet.
Go on. Don't unplug the internet.
Don't sass me. Let's- Alright, let
Okay.
me say bye to chat. Because you won't let me come back downstairs. Bye, chat. Excited for
You
future.
hear the dogs? They miss you.
It's
no bye.
mainly Rolo.
God, I've had things.
He's done the first 2 steps. I didn't know he could do that.
There's a graph of like the
Oh, he's
viewership.
stuck. Okay.
We peaked at like 15 right when Alex got here, and I put the spreadsheet on, and then it's just down from that graph. Yeah, I know. Literally, we went from 15, and it's the sharps peak downward when I brought the spreadsheet out. Cowards. I don't know. I had a lot. The TV was compatible with something from the 2046. Still want Ruby's body, but not in that way. I like the bit where Ruby.
TV.
Yeah, I like the bit where Ruby was like, dropped it on the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good. What is that frame? Sometimes
that was what. I mean, there is no answer, but what was happening there?
Just like Sutekh magic, surely. I don't remember. I will say Gabriel Wolf, the voice of Sutekh, did a lot closer to Sutekh in this episode than the finale, because it didn't have that, I guess, finale nature. It's probably just that he's like 50 years older, so his voice is a lot deeper.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to listen to his Big Finish stuff, because he plays Sutekh a few times in like previous decades. There you go. There's the baby.
Yeah, weird B plot to the whole episode.
Okay, I don't want to do this just as like Chibnall bad, but it actually felt like something out of a Chris Chibnall episode where we're introduced to a character randomly, not really given much of a reason to care about them, and then it shows up later that like they're happy now, and it's like, I mean, that's good, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
I did also have the thought that it would have been kind of funny if it turns out the baby he didn't die to Sutekh. It was just totally unrelated things that happened before. So the cut was actually just like they're at a funeral or something. It's like,
the father isn't there.
The father isn't there. Yeah, no. The tall father.
How did he die?
I bet the baby did it. That's what they're celebrating. No, there he is. They just got him. Yeah. He's like, look it, good job, you did it. That's what they're doing. I like how it's an alien planet. We got to make it interesting. So like,
yeah.
I like there's a joke, right, where Ruby's like, yeah, what was all that Egyptian stuff? And the doctor goes, cultural appropriation.
That was so funny.
Well, I found it funny because technically, right, again, Pyramids of Mars is hazy in my mind. But I think canonically, the Egyptians culturally appropriated Osiris culture. It's like every layer of that. There's, I guess, British appropriation of the Egyptian culture. There's the original stealing of the Egyptian culture for like the whole mummy myths and Sutekh. There's the fact you're still like doing it now, as I recall, just as badly as like I don't remember Pyramids of Mars being like a racist episode, other than the fact that, you know, you're saying turnout foreign god is actually an alien, which, you know, is what this one's doing. But technically it's saying he's a god, but he's evolved since he was like an alien. But I do kind of find that's like, well, technically, I guess it's like, I don't know what he's talking about. It's funny. I love this TARDIS set, by the way. I didn't realize till the last shot, the like wooden trim that's in the middle of the console. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Is it wood? I've never noticed that, but I like that console.
It looks metally.
I do love this console. Like when you really get up and look at the buttons and stuff, it's a very good console. I know I had like one or two nitpicks I'm really gonna hate. I know nitpicks if I don't mention them. Like, you know, you technically probably shouldn't be able to fly the TARDIS through this, but the TARDIS has enough agency. I guess it can just do what it wants. Here was the bit where I think it was like the planet Ood sphere or something, where I thought he was like, there it is. I thought they were gonna do that. It brought life to Gallifrey, which yes would have opened a massive can of worms. I would have complained about, like, did he bring everyone back? But I actually like that's actually kind of satisfying, because I think generally the fandom consensus is the last time they destroyed Gallifrey, it was the final straw. It was super cheap, and now, like, but to the point where undoing it, there's no way you could really undo it that it doesn't feel cheap, even if it's like 20 years from now. Because it's now kind of become the point, Gallifrey, this is just what it does, you know? But I'm like, actually, that would do it, and I'd like it, and I want modern Time Lord stories. I know a lot of people think they're all boring, but that's probably just because you don't like the specific ones. Go listen. Okay, right. Recommendation. If you've never heard it, Big Finish their first, it's like 3 or 4 seasons of their Gallifrey series. Technically ends on a cliffhanger, but is also kind of self-contained. With Romana, Leela, K9, and K9. Yes.
K9?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, they're kind of stuck up about it. You know, which one's the superior model, but it is genuinely one of like the best productions they've ever made. Because it was before the reboot in the Time Lore, so they like basically could do whatever the hell they wanted with Gallifrey. And it's a fantastic, like, not only that, because Romana, being a companion, is like a very liberal president. It's like something in the book. She's president of Gallifrey. Don't worry about it. But of course, Time Lords are super conservative culture, and it's a fantastic story. Basically about like the political intrigue and her struggles to enlighten Gallifrey. I really don't want to say much about spoilers, like without spoilers. Just listen, it's probably like $10 to get the whole thing. Because it's so old, and old Big Finish is cheap. I could not recommend it more highly. Just dang, fantastic. I know there's things I'm gonna hate not bringing up. Oh yeah, it's the talk I wanted to do where Ruby's just casually like, yeah, my mom knows about you. I told her all about you. It's like, I guess she believes him, which sounds ridiculous, but then you realize, you want to know how that conversation goes? It's like, hey, you know, I'm friends with the doctor, and like he's a time traveler. It's how we found you. It's got ship, TARDIS, bigger on the inside, and this, of course, highly educated nurse. It's like, you know, calling her friends at the mental ward. He's like, no, remember when, like, I was born, there was that weird, like, police box, and, like, black guy, orange coat, trousers, you pointed at him. It's like, I can describe it perfect. It's like, oh, you know what, you're right. It's like, remember that big, like, pirate ship that just, like, crashed into the church or something? Like, you should have been more concerned about that, honestly, Mom. But you were 15, I'll admit, you know. You didn't have the best role models as parents. It's like, yeah, you know, maybe.
That's funny.
Like, okay, if the mom's coming back, right? Like, maybe there's a reason for her to know. Then just have it be between the seasons. Just be like, yeah, I told her. And, like, I managed to convince her.
Yeah.
Or just maybe don't bring, hey, this is my friend the doctor, the time-traveling alien. Just be like, hey, this is my friend the doctor.
Yeah.
Not that kind of doctor, though. I know you're a nurse, I guess. This is my friend Chad. I don't know why I chose the name Chad. John Smith. I mean, that's the joke, of course. Juju. And that's like, I know you. You're in the ER right now. It's like, huh? Doctor Who will return. Because it's like a future. No. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh no, we gotta do, right, everyone's favorite part.
We gotta rate it.
The spreadsheet. That's right, it's back. Where is my water? I'll say, this is one of those episodes where after reading Reddit and talking about this, it's probably gonna be like multiple points higher than immediately after I left the episode, because it did its core stuff well. So I've always said. So I kind of forget all of the ways in which this was bad. Yeah. And because I gotta be careful about those because you nailed the core stuff. That's really what I remember, and like I'm gonna remember the last 15 minutes. That's actually the great story. I remember IMDb. I had it opened already. So IMDb. Actually, no, we'll do that later. But I will tell you, Legend of Ruby Sunday, actually let me refresh, because it's been a few hours, is now sitting at an 8.5, so it has gone down a little bit since we reviewed it. But yeah, do you want to rate this? As I'm just going to go through and update everything else.
Okay, if we start on narrowing in, we're not a 10.
I like how everything either stayed the same or went down 0.1.
I'm above a 6.
I mean, that's
7,
a range. Mm-hmm.
8, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm somewhere in between 8 and a 9.
I mean, was it better than part 1?
That's the thing. I really liked the second half of part 1 a lot, but the first half was
That's
so
true.
boring.
No, that's true. And you were kind of 50-50 on this episode, too. Like, there was a split. Oh, let me show you the spreadsheet. I know. Shocking. And I'll just put,
I could
hang on.
put this at like an 8.5.
8.5? As I was still, getting the spreadsheet sorted. Really? Right. And they like the whole two-parter. You don't have to do that one if you don't want, but yeah.
Is an 8.
8. So worse than the sum of both of its parts. Yeah, all right. The way this works, by the way, here is our average of the 8 episodes, the max and the min. This is the average if you count this row instead of this row. So that's how we're doing it. This is the average of the episodes. This is the average of the stories. I already know, is I have to double check. Okay, maybe I don't know. So I will just write, IMDb was a 7.1.
Whoa.
That's actually not too low. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the middle. Well, 5. I guess it's the bottom. Fair. As I said, it was kind of messy.
Such a difference from the first one.
Well, it was a little messy. It was kind of complicated. So the fact that a lot of things aren't too well explained. I remember Matt Smith's era. You know, people bounce off. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all that it is significantly lower than part 1. But I was actually surprised, as I said, that the reaction seems to be closer to Alex or maybe you or me. I don't know. It's Russell. What do you even do when Russell T. Davies writes a finale? I don't know. Like, I mean, collectively, as I said, I don't really think this did anything satisfying with part 1. I'm not going to change part 1, but I guess that could justify the 8. Alex was fun. Like, yeah, Alex is going to be the closest to the general fan opinion. IMDb is like the general population, but this is like the casual fan. By the way, I do love, not to delay my talk, but if you go to season 2 of Doctor Who, like just the Doctor Who, Doctor Who, I don't know if this is the season or like literally all of Doctor Who, is rated like a 6.5, but you can get a graph of the distribution of that rating. It's a 6.1, all of Doctor Who, which honestly, yeah, I guess, but this is the graph of the distribution. 10, 1, yeah. And then on at most like 7 and 9. It's what I mean, because that's what it does. It biases 10 and 1, and then who goes to IMDb to rate a 5? You know, like you don't want to spend the effort to write this was a 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually have more time to think about this. Well, here, I'll bring our averages down. 9? That's hot. This is on average the best. No, Empire of Death was on average the best episode. That's not right. It's because I'm not in here. Let's be
Bring us down.
No. It's still the case. If you remove me, this is apparently the best story. Do you agree with that? Like, no. Surely. No, not at all.
Alex, give it a 9.5.
This is weird. This is the Russell T. Davies finale syndrome, though, you know? Nah, I don't know if it's okay, so yeah, let's narrow it down. Boom's weird. I honestly might take this down a peg just because of how much we keep referencing it. It's an episode that really should have stayed isolated. 8.3, I guess if you ever try and analyze it, this episode was worse than like anything. It's maybe Rogue to me, but I know I'm weird with Rogue. Just because, like, on paper, this episode doesn't work. But in practice, there is something there. So I really can't Well, I gave Church a 7. I am harsh, but at this point, you kind of do have to stick with the ratings around. Yeah, look at me bringing us down. It wasn't as good as part 1. I will say that. 0.5. I don't like my rankings. I don't really agree with like any of them, but at this point I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I got to make the averages look better. And
Davies
then final.
yourself. You ranked yourself into a corner.
Is it an 8? Well, I think we were so good on like that's a Church of Ruby Road. I wanted a room for a lot of episodes better than it, right? I didn't want to limit myself to just like give it an 8 and say there's 2 places. Space Babies, we both agreed, let's establish this as a midpoint. Yeah. And so then I just kind of boxed myself in. It's like you went to the competition at State once where they gave you like a kind of low score. Yeah. But it's because you were the first to go. And like you would have been a 10, but they need room to give people better. You'll never forget that. Yeah, even though it wouldn't have affected your final ranking at all. You'll never forget. I remember I did a competition once where I won first place, and I was like one of the highest scoring people in the whole thing. I was also the sole member of my age bracket. And so I was like, man, I would have won by a long way, but like it's such a hollow victory. I won by default, but like I won by default with a 10 out of 10. It's like, come on. I 8. I don't know. This means nothing. Why did we do this? Why did I do this?
I don't know.
I suggested this. I don't know. It makes me look bad. I don't know. Why was I thinking? Why do you listen to me?
Fun enough.
I want everyone to unsubscribe. I'm not worth listening. No, please don't. So curious. Here's kind of the interesting bits, though. This is actually interesting. I mean, honestly, for min and max of IMDb, this feels like this is what the general consensus would put as a min and a max for like basically anything episodic. Mm-hmm. Our averages, I mean, little bit of a rocky start. But 8s, mostly 8s and some 7s. Mm-hmm. Yes, I would say this season was a bunch of 8s and some 7s.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Average was 7.84, which again, if you just 8.17. Yep, I would agree. In fact, let's just... Again, I'm low, but like, honestly, this feels more like it. I guess when I get negative, I'm like, I get real negative. You're more moderate, and Alex is, they're the casual fan. Mm-hmm. It's all the good, but none of the like nitpicky bad. And they don't really care if the plot's a bit of a mess. That's not right. I intentionally didn't do min and max for considering this is one story, because I'm like, this is not going to be the min or the max for anybody. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, Alex loved this. Discord hasn't recognized yet. This happens sometimes where my internet goes out. I'm back. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. Hello. I don't know when we came back. My internet does that sometimes. I've lost all my viewers. We've halved. Thank you, 2 people who stay. Actually, one of them was probably me. I got to hack my internet, auto change off. This happens ever since we got fiber. And I've honestly been amazingly lucky. It's never happened on a stream before, but I should really call. Hey, the one time we weren't recording, though. So that's lost forever. Yep. We were just debating ranking the seasons. IMDb doesn't give it. We're both saying, like, even though our averages are below an 8, it deserves at least an 8. We both feel.
Yeah. I'd probably set it there. 8-0.
Just 8?
Flat.
8. Honestly. 8. 8. 8. Never found that button in the Stanley Parable. Because 8's just, like, good, but you didn't really do anything particularly special to elevate you, but you also didn't do anything bad to bring you down. For as many, like, experimental above 8s there are, there wasn't really a structure.
Yeah, it evens out.
I think we brought it back at the end. By the end, I think there is more. I can understand why there was so little structure, because when you're writing it, you see the whole big picture, and you don't realize it's lacking when you're just going in order. But hey, yeah, I'd want a little more for season 2. If we just get this season again, it'll go down a little bit, and kind of exponentially each season will go down a little more. It's always weird though when they film both at the same time that they can't learn any lessons from season 1. And I don't really feel like there are lessons to learn necessarily though. Because like anything you could learn from just this is his like 5th season of Doctor Who. So like it's not really, they didn't know what he was doing. Hopefully it was a little teething problems maybe. Just getting back in the groove that are going to be fleshed out, or Ncuti Gatwa will be more available. Oh, we're on the season 2, right? Do we want to enter the spoilery zone? We can talk about next season a bit.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a trailer for Joy to the World. That is the name of the next Christmas special, written by Stephen Moffat, which everyone is much more excited for after Boom. But oops, I destroyed my ranking. There we go. Let me find the episode again. Last time, apparently, the next time on was with the BBC's broadcast. So tomorrow, in like 14 hours, we'll get that. I honestly probably won't watch it. I didn't watch this season's trailer, and I think I was better off for it. Didn't know. I don't want the Dr. Falls spoil ever. That's a reference that's gonna land for anyone who watched it at the time. Hey, our audience has recovered from when we lost internet. The funny bit, when we lost internet, I could hear you for like a solid minute after. So my upload died. And then like a minute later, my download died, I guess. Yeah. So I was like, is it Discord? I looked at OBS and it said like error, not streaming. It's like, oh. But so is Ruby Sunday in season 2? Yes.
Ooh.
But we get the impression, I don't believe this has been confirmed, or I think it's more an impression that she's not really the main companion. She might only be in for like parts of it. Or we're just misinterpreting this, because the way this was revealed is, I believe it was a leak, who the new companion would be. As I mentioned before, I believe it is the actress who played Monday in Boom. We don't know if it is Monday. I've really tried to stay out a lot of this stuff. This is just the whispers on the wind. Theoretically, I could be massively wrong in this, but I know it's a black woman who was in Boom, and that does narrow it down quite a bit. And so we linked that, and so people assumed Ruby would be a one-season companion. A little afterwards, the BBC confirmed whoever the actress would be, I'll know her name next season, was the companion. So we were like, okay, yes. But then later they revealed Ruby and this other person would be companions. It might be like Martha. Martha was in season 3, but she's also in like a lot of the season 4 episodes, but is not really the companion. It's not like they didn't know, because they filmed these back to back. There are a few companions who leave and then actually come back for another season. Amy, Rory, Clara. It's always actually, Clara's funny because she left. She then came back for the Christmas special where she kind of left, or like maybe was going to die of old age because they didn't know if they'd get her back, and then they got her back for the next season. Clara leaves like 3 times. Amy and Rory, the less we talk about the first half of season 7, the better. Yeah, it's why people... There's a reason people kind of... That's the beginning of the the downward trend. Asylum of the Daleks was a mistake.
It'll be interesting to see Ruby as a character without the like mystery aspect, which felt like half the character.
I mean, we've had a few companions like that. Clara again was a mystery for her first season, just like the first half actually. Amy was a bit of a mystery, although honestly, I don't think you really are revealed that she's a mystery. Don't worry about that until I was messing with something until the episode where the mystery gets resolved. I think that's it. Donna's arguably a mystery, but so it's not uncommon in Modern Who.
Okay.
We're hoping, again, as we have been hoping for like 15 years, someone who is not a like 20-something-year-old girl from modern-day England, and no, a 30-something-year-old girl from modern-day England is not what we mean. For that matter, a 20 to 30-something-year-old boy from England, or like go send me to like Gibraltar. I don't know. Go send me something weird. After Sarah Jane Smith, the companions are tribal woman from humanity's far future on a lost colony, time lady, robot dog, don't forget that one. Right. The regeneration of that time lady. Who the hell is after Romana? Oh my god. That's boy math genius from another universe. Alien royalty from a utopian planet that got destroyed. And then Australian flight attendant, air hostess, is at least not from the UK.
I like that.
And then you get alien boy who wants to kill the doctor at the start. And then you get quote-unquote American. And then you get Mel, I think. And I guess, Mel's just modern day. But look at that stretch. Look at that stretch. Well, who are some of the best companions? 1800 Scottish tribesman? Like, come on. There's this idea that the companion needs to be a modern day person for the audience, because if not, the audience won't relate, and then they won't be able to ask the right questions. I will admit that some of the classic companions from the past were inconsistently written in the 60s. But still, even when he's written well, Jamie asked the right questions. Leela's great. Like, a lot of the top companions are not modern-day humans. Sure, some of them are, but it's just straight-up false that the audience... Heck, even Nardole. People love Nardole. He's an alien companion. But he's also just, looks like a human, and... In fact, I think he might actually just be human. He's from the future. We just barely get him. It's like, no, come on, give me... Clara was almost... It was changed much earlier in the day than it's often stated, but Clara was almost a Victorian version of herself rather than, the modern day. The Victorian version, a lot of people say, is much better than modern day Clara, who... we'll call her controversial. I think controversial is fair. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard because that era, the fan base is so different to what the general response was. But also the casual fan base wasn't really sticking around, and it's hard to gauge the casual fan base anyway because no one was talking about Doctor Who, and I'm probably the only person who's actually seen Clara. And I'm not the casual fan base. That's the problem. Yeah, anything I guess we want to say before we wrap up? That's all I know about season 2. I'm kind of thinking maybe Valeyard's gonna come back.
I'd like that.
6 seasons, 6 Doctor. There's been some stuff the BBC did that 10-minute recap video, and like a
Yeah.
minute of it is dedicated to the Veil Yard.
Mhm.
I think there might be murmurings of sort of leaky things, but I don't know how credible they are or even if they exist. This is the problem when you... Well, this is the good thing, but it's also the problem when you really stay out. No, Susan, you couldn't keep that under wraps. Carol Ann Ford would be too dedicated to the bit of, like, wanting to come back and play Susan. Could you imagine if she secretly filmed it? She, like, tragically dies before the next season, and then it's like she's actually in it. It's like...
And everyone's so angry.
Like, you spend, like, 4 months being furious you didn't get Carol Ann Ford. It's like, you're disrespected. She also, I read she wants to come back and do how I write it, where she wants to come back and film the regeneration so that Susan can continue on past her.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, because that's how you do it. Because we'll only get her one more time, right? Like, it's her age, and I don't even think we really should bring her back to be the companion in her, like, her current state.
Yeah.
Nothing against Carol Ann Ford. That's just a little too much. Like, you know, give us something new.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely, bring her back. Have your lovely reunion. Get Carol Ann Ford. A shock regeneration that everyone will definitely know about beforehand. And then, bam, modern Susan. It's the Susan that Carol Ann Ford was actually promised. Like a kick-ass, strong, capable, like the actual Susan concept, but done right and not like it was the 1960s. Because Carol Ann Ford will be the first person to complain about how Susan was written. It was not the woman like she was promised.
Yeah.
She was dialed back, I think, a lot, even from the first version of the first story, because they had to reshoot that. And it's a shame. But, you know, also just give her that... I mean, Big Finish has kind of done it, but give her that proper television chance to play the character she wanted. Like, you've done so good with Mel. You've let the actress do some fun stuff, like have that skull, you know, makeup. She's kind of the villain. Yeah. But she also actually just gets to be Mel with, you know, a proper character and agency and more than just being able to hit the high note in the Doctor Who with her scream. There are screams that go for endings that go from Mel screaming to like the ding, like start of the cleansing of the classic theme because it's just the same high note. It's in fact Mel's higher. It's actually a step down to go into the brum. But yeah, it's good, you know, that you get the classic. Anything that increases the likelihood that like younger people, I mean, I say this very much aware that I am the younger people, to go back and watch classic Doctor Who is a good, you know, that's a good in my book. So, you know, I got 3 years to convince you for our watch along.
To work me in.
We need to get you though to watch like Invasion of the Dinosaurs at least before you leave, and like probably Kinda, just because after I saw that snake puppet, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Kinda's so. As much as like the multi-Doctor ones would be fun, it's like Kinda is exactly what you wanted, like big snake puppet invasion of the snake ones.
Beautiful, yeah.
I think I get the green screen episode on Blu-ray some like mid next month. You want to watch the one where they ran out of budget, so they green screened the whole alien planet.
That sounds brutal.
Yep, because they had a low budget, and that was set at the beginning of the year, and that was a year with massive inflation.
Yeah.
So their budget, by the time they got to that story, was so much lower than their already shoestring budget that they went, screw it. Let's move all the money for this story to the one before it, and we'll just green screen. We know they're going to be bad, so let's have one bad one rather than two.
And I respect it.
Yeah, you gotta respect, you know. I think, though, this is the last time we'll meet each other, as I said. Christmas, probably like 26. I don't know. Subscribe. Go to the community channel. Figure it out. We'll be back for Christmas. We'll do Star Treks. I do Star Trek Prodigy in like 2 weeks when that comes out. You don't do those, though. Nope. But no watch along the 23rd, because we couldn't do this the 23rd, so.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll be happy to inform you. I actually am now free on the 23rd. So it's entirely your fault that we had to move. Yeah, it's entirely your fault. I don't know. I might do a Star Trek watch along, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The 30th I won't do because Prodigy is dropping 20 episodes on the 1st, and you're busy. So like, yeah, we want you for Christmas Invasion. July 7th then, Pacific Standard Time at noon.
I'm not sure if I will be here July 7th.
We might.
Okay, I might be.
We might be doing the Christmas Invasion. Maybe the 6th. I can do it on a Saturday. We can figure this out. I might, at some point, the 14th.
Actually,
this is why. No.
I think I very conveniently.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
You don't? Well,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, you're free now. Okay, July is hard. I don't know how much you want to say, but you're doing like a big move. You got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
it's actually conveniently, July is so open except for Sundays.
Saturdays.
We'll figure it out.
Saturdays we will probably be doing Doctor Who. But August, like, you're settled, like, from then on, right? You're like basically dead, so
early August,
maybe
probably
not, but
late August, definitely. Yep, and then from
make
then
sure
on.
you buy internet now. Yeah, so we can stream. Make sure the internet's good enough.
Yeah,
we can do this. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, subscribe. I mean, if you want to, that's what you do. I'm told that's what you're supposed to. When Weeks Caden's not here, I probably won't watch Doctor Who. We'll do the watch along because it's fun with him. Unless, I don't know, it's a real bad episode. But yeah, we're just going through all of Doctor Who. I mean, by December, we might even get through Tennant. Well, no, with all the ones you're skipping, it'll be September is season 2, so like, we'll probably be on Donna. We'll be on like season 4 by Christmas or something, I'm sure. This is what people want. I want us to hang around at the end. I don't know how long I've been live, because 2.5 hours. No, 3:15. What? I think my time's broken because we stopped being live.
Yeah, it might be.
I think that's it then. I will say thank you very much for watching. Let's see if Caden does it right this time. It's his last shot. And I'll see you next time!
Bye-bye!
Dang you.